Hey everybody, Wally here. Today I'm going to talk about erectile dysfunction. No, I'm just playing. I'm actually going to talk about antique malls, buying and selling, and everything else in between. And to some of you, that subject might be as boring as talking about erectile dysfunction. So, many of you might know that I sell in local antique malls, and I get a lot of questions on it, so I thought I'd do a series of videos on buying and selling there. So, probably the number one question I get from people is, what is an antique mall? And you'd be surprised on how many people have never stepped foot in one, have no clue. So, I'm going to assume that you have never been to an antique mall, and that's how I'm going to approach all the videos that I make. So, some of them, if you are familiar with them, these are going to be, pretty elementary for you. Anyway, just jump right in. First one is going to be, what is an antique mall? Well, an antique mall is just a place or a business that rents space to individual sellers, and they rent that space either, usually by the square foot, like $2 a square foot, and then some of them, there's a commission on top of that, some of them not. But you rent that individual space, and it can be either like a standard 10 by 10 booth, all the way down to one little shelf and a glass display case, can't talk. All the way up to, like I said, a 10 by 10. Some of them are bigger. Some of them have double booths that they sell, and but most of them will work with you if you only want a certain amount of area. They'll accommodate you. And then also, there's a couple different types of antique malls that I'm aware of. The first one is the one that I would say are pretty much 99% of all antique malls, which is the one where you just rent a space, and then you price your merchandise and then bring it into that space, and then they take care of the rest, like selling it, ringing it up, doing all the work of selling it. Where then the other type is the co-op type, where you have it's the same as the first mall, except for in the co-op type you're required to work there. Like a few hours a week or something like that. But I don't know of any of those around here like that. I know that there was, I would say a private antique mall, I guess is what I would call it, where it was a group of maybe like 5 or 6 friends that were in the business that decided to open their own mall, and they all ran it together. But that's been 15 years ago or something, so that's been gone a long time ago. And then also I get asked, what type of merchandise you can sell, or and that's, when you hear the word antique, you immediately think of old stuff, things that are over 100 years old. But it's really not true anymore. There's probably more modern. I wouldn't say modern. It's, I guess I would say after 1950. I guess I would say, as far as modern, like more collectible items as compared to the way it used to be when there was antiques and furniture and whatever. Anyway, you can pretty much sell whatever you want. It depends on the mall, but most malls in my area, they really don't care what you put in there. But there are a few that have some rules. I've heard of some malls that everything in your mall has to be before 1970 or 1960, but I don't know of any of those around here. I know there is one that's kind of sort of like that, but yeah, they probably won't be around much longer, just because most of the dealers don't even try to go into that one. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for what an antique mall is, and then in my next videos I'll explore it more. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. I really can't go into answering all the individual questions. I'd gone through a lot of the messages that I had from the past, and I'll answer some of those questions. But if you have any others, just put them in the comments section below, and then we'll get to those. And then be sure to like my channel, subscribe, and share. So check it out. Talk to you next time.